let's start off with you telling people about where you're from, so people have a sense of your perspective on this.
I'm originally from the city of Kharkov, now called Kharkiv in eastern Ukraine. That's the giant industrial city, the second biggest city in Ukraine, that's very close to Russia. And it also happens to be a city that had a neo-Nazi street gang called Patriot of Ukraine. And that street gang eventually formed a battalion, a paramilitary called the Azov Battalion, which in turn grew and grew and grew over the next 7 years to become a brigade in the armed forces of Ukraine, in the military of Ukraine, in the National Guard. And I've reported on it for a long time, and I've noticed that as soon as Russia invaded Ukraine, this was last February, so this is February 2022, shortly after the winter of 2022, Western media, which spent the past 7 years talking about how Azov is neo-Nazi and how Azov reaches out to white supremacists across the world, how it recruits them, how it's basically a hub of neo-Nazism, suddenly Western media just started reversing itself, and suddenly all of these groups started saying that this organization of battle-hardened neo-Nazis had suddenly and magically stopped being neo-Nazi. And
they read white fragility, I think. They did a sensitivity training, yeah.
Yes, we shipped crates and crates of white fragility to Kiev, and it worked. So this is all happening at the same time, and this is what makes it so psychotic. This is happening at the same time when people are saying about how white supremacy is this existential threat to America and to the world. So at the very same time as we're saying all of this, we're also saying, hey, this neo-Nazi paramilitary is suddenly not neo-Nazi anymore. And this is by the time like September, October rolled around, we not only were whitewashing them, we went to celebrate them. So suddenly we started having these fascists in Congress, on MSNBC, in elite universities like Stanford. So in the space of just several months, we've gone from acknowledging they're neo-Nazis to saying anybody who says this is really a Russian puppet, to saying, you know what, these people are actually heroes. Well, we always go, everywhere we go, we use radicals, whether it's in Syria, whether it's Afghanistan and Osama bin Laden. And it makes sense. I mean, these people they're highly organized, and they're not afraid to die, and they're not afraid to kill. So it's unfortunately, the odds of us doing something about them is, given our history, is rather small. We love groups like that, and we use them all the time. I can't help but get the feeling that if bin Laden in the 80s was today, the media would be celebrating him. They actually did. I mean, The Guardian actually did a story about the warrior fighting the Soviets. So he would be on Instagram. He would be, we would be celebrating him, just like we're celebrating Azov now.